Okay, so the directions on this stuff say, and they're not very detailed, they say basically wipe the stuff on at a 45-degree angle with a grout float. I got this from Home Depot for like $10. An epoxy grout float. They have different kinds. This one is an epoxy one because that's what the directions on this say. To use, we're using the Blue Hawk pre-mixed vinyl grout, and the color is saddle gray. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can. So basically it just says press it into the joints at a 45-degree angle. Remove the excess using the grout flow at a 90-degree angle. Don't apply it to more than 10 square feet at a time. Soak a grout sponge in cool, clean water. Wring out excess water completely. Use a damp sponge in light circular motion to smooth joints and clean excess grout from tile. Okay? It also says that wipe down the tile surface with a slightly dampened sponge before grouting. That's interesting. Okay, so I have my grout sponge here, and this is my first attempt ever at grouting tile, so just bear with me. Never done this before, but we're gonna learn today. Hey baby. I am talking to my camera. That is an awkward question for me to answer. Alright, I don't know why they want it slightly damp, I guess. Maybe for the grout to adhere, maybe to make it easier for you to clean after, I don't know, but here we go. This is how the stuff looks on the inside. Why I have to touch it, I don't know, I just wanted to see what it felt like. Alright, so let's do this. I'm so scared of messing this up. So Chris can come home and be like, what did you do? See, I already feel like I'm doing it weird. Okay, it's going in there. Get in there. Okay, this isn't so bad. It's a little bit like icing a cake, actually. Not terrible. Okay. Get in there. I'm just scared because this is the first time I've ever done this, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to waste money and have to like totally replace my new floor that my husband just installed. So I guess I'm just nervous. Just nervous about messing it up. But it's coming out really well. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I'll have to tilt the camera up some so you can see. But so far I'm liking it. Wow, that really made a big difference too, as far as the look of the tile. And it's actually not leaving a lot of grout residue as I'm doing it. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'm sorry if you can't. If you can't, I'll go back and watch the video and see if you guys can see it. And if not, then I'll do it again. But so far, this is looking great, you guys. It's not hard at all. I'm just nervous about it. But they said don't do any more than a 10-foot square area at a time, I guess, to give you enough time to clean it. Which makes sense, of course. And I've only done, what, about 4 tiles? months. I'm too nervous to do any more than that. Maybe as, as I become comfortable and I see, what the drying time is like on this stuff, then maybe I'll go for a little bigger of an area. But until then, I'm gonna stick with probably four tiles here. I'm being really careful to get this excess off because I have read in the reviews of people installing flooring not being able to get the grout off once it dries. And this is vinyl, you guys. This is vinyl. Let me remind you, this is vinyl. This is not, your ceramic tile where it's just gonna chip and break off once it dries. This would need to be scrubbed off, and so then you run the risk of damaging your vinyl tile and basically having to go back and replace it. And I don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. So being very careful to get as much off as possible with my grout float here. I'm trying not to mess up the lines, the grout lines I'm creating. But so far it's looking great. I'm loving it. My husband's gonna come home and be like, hey, what did you do? Instead of, what did you do? You ruined it. And I really like the texture of this epoxy grout float. Like, I see why they said to get this one as opposed to the other types of grout floats that they have. I don't remember any of the names that I saw, but I see why they said to get this one. So, got it all in there, cleaned up a great deal of the excess grout with the actual grout float. And I don't know, I know you guys can't see, but I've been putting it back in there. And yeah, so now that I've got most of that up, I'm gonna put my lid back on this. Put this down for a minute. And what did it say to do next? Anybody remember? Pretty sure it said wipe it up with clean, cool water. With a sponge, right? That's what it said. First, soak grout sponge in clean, cool water. Wring out excess water completely. Use damp sponge in light circular motion to smooth joints and clean excess grout from tile. Okay, let's get on that, because I don't want it to stick. Alright. Why this water all of a sudden looks soapy? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm squeezing a sponge in it. But circular motion. Circular. Man, you guys, that looks great. Can you see that? I'm gonna keep asking if you guys can see it because I think it looks awesome, and I would hate if you guys weren't able to see it. I think it looks awesome. Wow, what a difference some grout can make. This is way better than taking the tiles and just putting them together back to back to back, which is what people usually do with vinyl tile or have been doing for, decades with vinyl tile. With this new quote unquote luxury vinyl tile that can be grouted is awesome. One of my close friends came over the other day, and I didn't tell her we were doing the floor. I was like, you'll just have to wait and see, because we're always doing some project around here. And so I told her, you'll just have to wait and see what it is. And so when she came over, and she said, I thought it would be the floor. And she was like, wow, this looks great. And then, because it wasn't finished at the time, we still had a couple of the tiles with the paper backing on it on the floor in the corner, like where they were going to be placed. They were in position to be placed. And so she saw them and she was like, wait a second, is this vinyl? I said, yep. She was like, the only thing that gave it away was the little paper on the back of the tile. Other than that, you cannot tell. She got down and touched it and felt the texture and everything. She was like, wow, this looks great. You would never be able to tell this from your regular ceramic tile. Awesome. And I agree, especially now that I'm seeing the grout lines in it. I mean, I knew that my husband made a good pick with the color and the texture of this tile, but adding the grout to it, wow, looks awesome. Looks so awesome. And the water is starting to get milky over here. So I'm going to show you guys this little section that I did. And then I'll go ahead and turn the camera off and pour this water out and get some clean water. And go back at it again. Alright, you guys. I'll show you this little section here. That's kind of clean. Not totally clean. And then I'll let you go. I'll get back to it and show you the final result. Okay. So can you guys see that? That's the question of the day. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it or not. I see it. I think it looks great. Alright, you guys, I'll let you go as I get back to work. Bye.